Hello everybody and welcome on this rainy day here in Belgium. I am under an umbrella, which is just keeping me a little drier, but it's not really the best weather you can imagine. But nevertheless, let's do something fun today. A few months ago I bought a little Portulacaria afra. You know that little nice plant. It was in a little pot filled with ordinary pot ground, and I just took a few cuttings and I planted it. Now, of course, I have a whole lot of these nice little cuttings growing all over the place, and well, I thought, let's make a little group, a little forest of all these trees. So I have this, these are two rather big ones, they grew like crazy. And these are the little cuttings, and I guess they have roots because they grew as well. And then I have this little pot here, and the plan is to make a little forest group and give it to my wife so she can put it in her classroom, because she's a teacher like I am, and it's a nice species to have in your class because, well, on holidays, if you have a week or so holiday, you don't have to water these trees too much. They don't really need that much water, and so they can be left alone, and they look kind of cool. I like these little succulents to make a bonsai with. So let's stop the talking and let's start working. So I'm going to get these ones out of the pot and then see how the roots present, and then I think that I have 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 trees that I can use. A little group of 5, that's already something fun to watch. So let's do this. So first things first, of course, you need to get the trees out of the pot. Yeah. Well, just going to lay that down maybe, and then just get the soil out, and probably the trees will follow. Yeah, this one already has some roots, just a little bit, but since they grow quite easily from cuttings, this is not going to be a big problem. Oh, yeah, well, that looks quite okay. So I'm not going to need a whole lot of material to do this. It's in the drainage screen. So I'm just going to cut some of the roots here, like so. This one has nice little roots, and as you might see, the sun is coming from behind the clouds and we get some more light. So I'm not going to do a whole lot on these roots. So this one is a nice little tree. This one has not that much roots, but it's going to be all right. And that one, well, he grew a whole lot better than the others. So just going to get rid of some of the soil without tearing the roots apart. I'll give them a quick wash also. That's for the little pot. It's a cute little pot. And here I have a few rocks that I also plan to reuse in the little landscaping. These are the big ones. So let's have a look at that. Okay. And here I'm going to rake the soil out, because it is possible, I noticed, to have a nice radial root base on these trees, and it is even possible to wire them, but just a little going to separate them. That's a nice little tree. So the fun thing is that my wife and I are not in the same school, and I will not see this tree probably for the coming year, maybe in June. Now we're in the half September. So I wonder how well this tree will grow, and it will probably return to here as a gigantic bush, overgrown, which is, well, kind of fun. Okay, so this one has a wire, so I'm going to unwire it. And that's a problem with these succulents. So the Portulacaria, like this one, or the jades, you can wire them, but you must be really careful, because when you bend these trees, it seems that they are bending quite well, and then they snap without warning. They snap where the rings are, you know what I mean? They have little rings here, and that's where they are very fragile. Now this one really looks nice. The root base looks nice. And I think it really could use some root pruning too. So you see, even succulents can make excellent bonsai with mature roots. We have 2 layers of roots here, and the upper layer I will remove because I have very good roots under it. See, very mature roots. Same here. And that of course is because I buried them too deep to have some stability. Here I have crossing roots. I don't want crossing roots. So let me see, this one is quite high. So I think I'm just going to remove this one crossing. You see, you have one here and then one under it, but I don't think that I need this one, because there's very good roots under it. Now I have a root here. Yes, so that's very nice. Here is a small one that I'm not going to need. And then I wonder, no, I have to keep this one because there's nothing under it. That this is really the end of the trunk. Okay, so this is nice. It's too much root. I'm not going to be able to fit that in the pot, so just going to do a little basic trim. So that's a good one. Oh, I need to remove the wire. And maybe I should also look at all the branches. So this looks like a nice front, and then this branch is growing too low. I don't have a trunk here, so I'll remove that, and that here in the back too. This is a nice mature branch. It has some good division already. I don't think I need this in the front. I'd like to show a little more of the trunk. This leaf serves no purpose. And this branch is really too horizontal, so I'm going to get rid of that. Here I have a good shoot pointing outward, so I'm going to keep that. And here I have one growing back to the center, so I will remove that as well. I don't know, it's kind of strange, you know, hop, 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 but maybe it will get some floating lines in the future. For the rest, I think this is good. So this is obviously a tree that has to be somewhere here in the front and to this side, because, well, we don't have anything here and we don't want anything here, so that's good. So let's put him here. Maybe this leaf doesn't serve any purpose. And then I have this one. So I'm going to try to find the best front. I think that this as a front is not bad. I have a good top here. Then there's some movement, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to keep this branch here, but maybe try to divide it here. So I'm going to remove that and the tip. This could also divide here. Then in the back I have a little shoot here pointing upwards, so I'm going to remove the horizontal branch and give this guy a chance. So let me see. This is becoming too strong to be in the top. And because I have a nice branch here, I think I might open the tree up by removing this. So if I put the two trees together now, this looks nice. I'm going to have a look at the roots. They look quite good here. We have strange angles. And again, these roots are going to be too long when I put them all together in a small pot. So this is a nice little tree too. So I'm happy with that. And then we have here a little guy, which is not doing a whole lot, but it will. I have a little shoot here, so this is supposed to become a branch maybe. And then here we have a little junction that is starting to appear, so I'm going to get rid of that. And that's all I'm gonna do. So this is just becoming the new tree. I will probably have to lose this branch in the future, but I'm going to keep it for now just to make sure that this grows well and thickens a little. And then, well, this is just small and it will have to grow. And this also is small and it will have to grow. So that's it. Let's plant this now. Maybe, no, I'm not going to wash these roots. It's no use. Let it grow first. So I'm going to clean up all this stuff here. I'm surely going to keep all these little trimmings, because I really like these little plants, and I'm going to make cuttings of these and just put them back in the little pots that I have now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to clean up this, and then we'll start with the new fresh soil and the planting of this little group or forests. I lowered the camera a little, and I put the pot on a plastic pot so that it gives you a better perspective of, well, you need some depth. And then I have a little drainage screen, so a little layer of soil. That's for the start of everything. So this was the tree that I was planning to put on the side here, which I will do, but I'd like to show a little more of the roots, so I think that I'm going to need some more soil here. Well, it's not soil. It's lava, bims, pieces of granite, everything. I think that might be good. Of course, the roots are not perfectly flat, so I'm going to need to... How about that? This is not the biggest tree, I think. I need to try to work it in a little so that it stands, but that's always a problem when you do some group or forest plantings. This is the biggest tree, so I'll probably like to have this one a little more in the front. So maximum front, so this one needs to come back a little. And as you see, I'm not putting this branch straight to the outside, but a little bit more to the corner here. And it's starting to rain again. So this one can come in the front. And I'll try to spread the roots out as well as I can. I need a little more substrate under this. So here, and I feel that this one is going to fall over. Oh boy, that's the Belgian rain. But hey, it's just water and we're quite safe here. Okay, so that's not completely fixed, but slowly. I don't think it's gonna fall. That's already good. So I want this one in the front, so this one goes a little more to the back, and I might use a little more substrate in and under it. So that's good. So I'm going to look from behind the camera. I like the position of the trees, but not the angle. So this is something I'll have to deal with when I fill this thing up with substrate. Yeah, that's not a good position for this tree. So let's do that again. That's always a problem. But it's part of the fun. Every time I make a forest, I'm just wondering when it's going to fall. Well, okay. Now, when I give this thing to my wife, I really have to put a whole lot of rocks on top of it because it's not gonna make it to school. So Behind, slightly behind this big one, I want to put this one. So I'm going to dig a little hole. It doesn't have a whole lot of roots, but... And this little branch bothers me because it's right in the front, and that's never gonna be good. And I need this one to be the top. I'm going to get rid of it. It's really not, that's not good. A straight eye poker, I don't want that. So I'm going to bury this here. I know that my arm is blocking the view, I'm sorry about that, but what can you do? Okay. It should come like this, so I need a little more soil under it. And that's gonna be okay. So I'll fill this up with substrate. This is not a heavy tree, so should stay almost where it is supposed to stay. Okay. And I'm going to block it with a few sandstones. I don't think that I will be able to do a whole lot of landscaping, because the stones will just serve the purpose of keeping these trees straight. But it will help when I work the soil in a little more. It will make everything a little stronger. So that's already nice, I think. Let's zoom in, just for fun. Yes, it's cool. Now I think the two little ones that I have, I can put here. So one maybe here. It will give some depth to the whole thing. So let's do that. No, this is not good. I need to do it with my hands. It's too small to... Okay. That's good. And then I have a little one here that I'm going to try to bury a little more. Oh man, my umbrella seems to leak. Well, I'm getting drops on me. Okay, so let's have a look. I think that's nice. I need to get this one a little straighter. And then I'm going to work the soil in, but I'm going to run for the hills now. I'm going to go inside, do that, and when all the soil is worked in properly, I will be back. So see you in a second. Yeah, well, you see, I'm not afraid of a little water, but this is getting ridiculous. Look at the sky. Gray. It's not going to be a great and sunny day. But hey, what can you do? So now I'm back outside. Rain stopped a little, and well, I worked the soil in, and I think it's looking quite okay. Now, of course, the problem is going to be that this thing will have to be transported to the school. So I need to fix these little trees with rocks, and I have a whole collection of little sandstones that I can use to do that. So just going to put these stones on top of the soil. But quite frankly, I don't think that this is a very safe idea. Maybe I should keep the tree here for a couple of weeks. I'm just trying to find the best stones that I can use. So, because I don't want them to be too big too, because, well, it has to be yeah, well, how should I say, elegant. Yeah, so little stones that should give some stability to everything. See, this one is really not stable, so it is probably not a good idea to get this thing shipped. So I'm just going to add some little stones here, especially on top of the small ones, and then I'm going to fill the whole thing up. So let me see from behind. Yeah, I really like it. It's nice. The big tree here has nice movements, and then the second biggest tree, and then these three in the back, well, they're not on a line. It looks a little bit like they're on one line, but they are not. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is just take some more substrate, and I'm going to overdo this a whole lot. I know that this is not going to be the most beautiful thing, but if your trees fall over, that's not good either. So way too much soil. But I know that the trees are planted where they're supposed to be. And I'll try to work this in between the rocks, and probably in a few weeks the rain and the trees growing, well, they'll fix themselves. And this is going to be a whole lot better if you want to get this in a car, because it's going to be a disaster if I do this right now. And I'll just remove this whole topsoil when I think the trees are a little more established in this spot. So with a brush you can always, well, you can do this with whatever you want. As long as it does the trick, it's good. So yeah, so the landscaping will be just a couple of nice little rocks, because this tree will not be in a moist greenhouse or something. It's no use to put moss on that, because it's gonna disappear anyways. So that's it. gonna put it outside in the rain. It's going to get a nice watering, and that's all I can do for now. So this concludes this video on this little forest group, because, well, it's not really a forest. 5 trees is not really a forest, but I think it's looking cool. It's something nice to have inside, especially if you don't have the time or the possibility to water your trees and keep an eye on them. It's a really nice species to make a little bonsai that you can enjoy the whole year, because these trees are not difficult. They like light, they like heat, they don't care when they're drying out. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I hope you liked it. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.